Are we good? We're good. And my ears are live?
We're live.
We're live. So good day, everybody out in Facebook land. It's another beautiful Wednesday here at the Cancer Support Community. And I am Jessica Lewis, and I'm the founder of a company called Sculpt Your Life. And I actually have three areas of expertise. I'm a master personal trainer. I'm also a certified nutritional counselor, and I'm an accredited Tai Chi Cha instructor. And although I like to tell people that I think anybody's optimal well-being can be found somewhere in the confluence of moving well, eating well, and relaxing well, the truth is I actually think the Tai Chi Cha piece might be the most important thing, because it's been my experience. There's a lot of people in the world either can't or just don't want to exercise any differently than they already are. No matter what kind of compelling information I give them, they just can't or won't, right? Maybe they're injured, And there's a lot of people in the world that either can't or won't eat any differently. I mean, we have a really rough economy right now, and a lot of people have trouble buying fresh vegetables anywhere near them, But anybody can do Tai Chi Cha, and it has such a positive impact on your health that even if that's all you add to your life, you're still going to be healthier after you do it than before you started. That's just almost a guarantee. So anyway, if you want to learn more about Tai Chi Cha or about me, just Google it. If you do any combination of Jessica Lewis, Sculpt Your Life, Tai Chi, no matter how you spell any of those things, I'm usually the very first thing that pops up. I've got some people here live in the room with me, but I wanted to give everybody a little bit of an elevator speech about the relevance of Tai Chi Cha and cancer. So here's the thing. Late Saturday night, I got back from like 5 days in Boston. I was giving a presentation at a conference hosted by Harvard Medical School. It was actually the second conference of this kind. The first one was in 2023, and I also did a presentation at that time. And that was more about, what is Tai Chi and Qigong, and why are they valuable, and what relevance do they have to human health, right? But this conference was more about the nuts and bolts, practical life application of all the Tai Chi and Qigong practices out there. Like, who are they really good for and exactly why? So you might imagine that three of the top categories of people that really benefit from Tai Chi and Qigong practices in general, and of course, Tai Chi Cha is one of the many, many, many styles of Tai Chi out there, so it qualifies, are kids, right? There's been a huge rise in anxiety, depression, and suicidality among kids ever since COVID. But also, if you want to change the world, you have to start with children, right? Second category, veterans. Drop the mic, enough said, right? Third category, people with cancer. So I sat through a plenary session that was partially led by the director of Integrative Oncology at Sloan Kettering. So this is an organization we all know and respect quite a great deal. And he said, we are clinically teaching at our facility Tai Chi, Qigong, mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR, you could call it that, or you could just call it mindfulness. We're also offering acupuncture and massage. And what we've noticed is when we offer these things to cancer patients, we have a 26% drop in cancer-related deaths. I'm going to say it again for emphasis. 26% drop in cancer-related death. They also noticed, and they looked at all of this over a long period of time, they noticed a dramatic reduction in hospital visits. And for those people who were participating in their integrative oncology programs, they also noticed that when they go to the hospital, they're there for a much shorter period of time than people who do not participate in these programs. So here was the headline of that plenary session that I sat through. Why isn't Tai Chi literally like the number one word in the vocabulary of every single doctor that deals with a cancer patient? Why isn't it offered by every single hospital in the country? Why isn't it covered by every single insurance company in the country? That's a very big question. But my response to that is thank God for the cancer support community, really. And this facility just celebrated 30 years. That is a huge, big milestone. What I love most about the cancer support community is that this isn't just about we're going to fight this thing, we're going to beat it, we're going to win, which I think is like a really American attitude and not necessarily a healthy one when you're dealing with cancer. Here's another thing I learned during this plenary session. Most people that contract cancer will also be diagnosed with several other cancers over the course of a long period of time in their lives. So what this conversation really ends up being is not how to fight and beat and win against cancer, but how to live with it. And that's what I love about the cancer support community, because this is a community that's all about how to live your best life under any conditions, including cancer. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be doing Tai Chi Chuan, which is a practice that really helps you live your best life under any circumstances, including cancer. And why is that? First is, it helps you get your head out of your head, which is really important when you're dealing with cancer. So you become far more present to the present. And by that I mean, you're less concerned with maybe a bad decision you made years and years and years ago, so you can't even take it back now, right? You're less concerned with, what if this protocol doesn't work? What if I get another cancer down the road? What if? You're less concerned with that. You're more present. You're more available to the present moment. Another thing that Tai Chi Chuan is amazing for is helping you get the benefits of a good night's sleep. Low-level benefits, not exactly the same as a good night's sleep, but low-level benefits. There are moments in time between all of the movements in which we come to complete rest, and we simply notice the sensations of the body when you're completely at rest. When during your waking life do you ever do that, right? And people who have cancer often struggle with insomnia. By the way, Tai Chi Chuan is really good for that. And that's very anxiety producing. By the way, Tai Chi Chuan is really good for anxiety too. Also depression, nausea, vomiting, hot flashes, chronic fatigue, the full catastrophe, as we like to say. But when coming to complete rest, which also calms your central nervous system, and that's good for the entire body and your entire brain. And by the way, is already familiar with Tai Chi Chuan. So I'm going to conduct this class as if it's a guided practice, which is the way I like to describe classes for people that already have familiarity with Tai Chi Chuan. So we're just going to begin at the beginning, and we're just going to go all the way through. And because there's people in the room, some of whom aren't strong enough to stand up when they do their practice, I'm going to do some of the moves seated. I'm going to do some of the moves standing. I'm going to do some of the moves seated. And y'all, since you're so familiar with it, you can just decide which practice you want to do, okay? So before we do anything else though, let's begin the process of getting not just your body, but your mind right here exactly where your feet are, okay? All right, so if you're in your chair leaning back against the backrest of the chair, just scooch a little forward on your chair so that you are 100% in charge of being upright in your chair. Okay. Good. And there's all kinds of metaphors I've thought about over the years to help people understand or help people find the easiest ways to sit upright in a chair without using any especially core muscles. Here's the one that seems to work best for me right now. First, I notice my sit bones pushing down into the chair. Right? And when I'm sitting in a chair and my sit bones are pushing down into the chair, what that also means is my pelvis, which normally is sort of in that position when you're standing up, has done this a bit. And what that means is the tailbone is now tucked slightly under. So if I were to strip all of my skin off, you would see that the very tip of my tailbone is directly under my head. So just think about that for a minute. And now I want you to imagine that your head is simply a helium balloon. And what's keeping it from flying off into the stratosphere is the string that's hanging down from it, which you could think of as your spine, is actually tied to the very tip of your tailbone. And that's what's causing you to be utterly upright, and you're not using any muscles to be in that position. Okay, so go ahead and take a nice deep breath and let it out. And just notice the sensations of the body when you are completely upright in the chair and you're not working in order to make that happen. See if you can find the sweet spot for your upper body where there's no work involved whatsoever. And if you have any residual mysteries in your mind about how all this works, I want you to just check in with the sensations in the palms of your hands right now. Notice the feelings in your palms where they're making contact with your legs. And can you see how your hands aren't working to sit there on your legs? That's all we're doing here. We're letting the upper body not work to literally simply sit on top of your lower body. Let's take another deep breath and let it out. Nice. Now, if you feel confident that you're not going to lose your balance, go ahead and close your eyes while you're in this position. And I'm going to have you use your mental eye, your mind's eye, to look around the insides of your body. I like to call it your inner landscape. And let your attention just settle down on some place like right in the very middle of you, somewhere in the vicinity of your pelvic bowl. When I'm doing this exercise, I focus on the sensations in my sit bones pushing down to the chair, or I notice my breathing. And when I'm really relaxed, like I am right now, I belly breathe. So it enables me to kind of focus on the general vicinity of my pelvic bowl. And with your eyes closed, it's easier to explore your inner landscape. There's less information coming in through your eyeballs. And I'm going to go ahead and use my singing bowl. The Buddhists would say, I'm calling the bell. And your whole job until I call you back out again is just to notice anything you happen to notice mentally about this spot you have chosen to pay attention to. So here we go. We're going to begin. Go ahead and bring your attention back to the rest of us. And if your eyes were still closed, now would be a good time to open them. And let's go ahead and do the first movement in the practice, rocking motion. It's a forward-backward move, and let's do it in the chair because we're already sitting. So here we go. We're just going to let the whole upper body move slightly backwards, but in reality, we're going to be kind of rolling backwards on the sit bones a little bit. And then we're going to let the whole upper body move forward and the whole upper body move back. Again, thinking about that balloon, which is literally tethered to the very tip of your tailbone, which when you're sitting down is directly under your head. You can easily see, if you think about it, how the entire upper body will simply flow forward and back. And the only thing that's really moving here is your pelvis. It's kind of tipping back up here and kind of spilling forward a little bit here. Now the suggestion is that we only do 9 of these moves, but I haven't been counting because I've been talking. So let's pretend this is 7. And let's do 2 more. 8. And let's do 1 more. 9. And we're just going to let the hands float down to the lap. Nice. And let's do the next move, bird flaps its wings. I'm going to stand up for this, but if you're in the chair, you're literally just going to go forward and back the same way we just did. All right, so standing up, you sort of put your feet in a little bit of a V shape, whatever V shape feels good to you. And then in order to find yourself in the rest position while standing, you're just going to let your tailbone kind of drop and tuck a little bit. And then magically you'll notice that the backs of your knees just kind of move a little bit forward and they get soft back there. The fronts of your knees get soft too, but it's not like you're not bending them, right? Good. So I want you to just take a moment to feel how solid and supportive your lower body feels right now. It's like your 2 legs together are one big solid redwood tree trunk. And I want you to feel how the weight in both your feet is suddenly totally spread out across the entire sole of each foot. Do you feel that? Good. And then just lift your fingertips. So your hands are still in the exact same position they were in when they were resting on your thighs, right? There they are. So for bird flaps its wings, we're going to put our hands very close together, not quite touching, praying close, but slightly separated, and then we're going to drop them down so they're about halfway between your belly button and your groin. So here they are. And we're all going to let the upper body shift forward, but if you're standing, you're going to feel yourself dropping down first. So here we go. That's it. Nice. And now on this third one, we're going to draw a little circle in the air, primarily with the first 2 fingertips. That's it. Let's do another set just like that. The suggestion is that we do 3 sets. Here's the circle. Nice. And if I were sitting, this is what it would look like. Very much the same. Here's the circle. And we're simply going to flow right back to the rest position that we found before we moved. Take a moment to feel your body at rest. Nice. Now, since I'm sitting, I'm going to do the next movement in the chair. Um, the next move is called around the platter. So just take your left foot and move it ever so slightly out there if you're sitting with me. If you're standing and you know this move, you know how to get your left foot significantly farther out than the right. And imagine you've got a big old invisible turkey serving platter out in front of your body, and it's about the height of your heart. You're going to put your hands near the back of the platter. I like to think it's almost like there's a little ball of energy under each hand, and the two balls are on the platter. Okay, the two balls and the heel of your hand are on the platter. So as your upper body goes forward and back, the hands are going to go forward and then back on the platter. And since your left leg is sticking out there, that's the direction they're going to flow first. And on the way back, they're going to come back over the right thigh. The suggestion is that we do 9 of these with each foot out, but we're going to do 6 only. Nice. Let's do one more. And we're going to rest. Take a moment to feel your body resting. And let's put the right foot slightly out there now. Let's do 6 on the other side. Here we go. Nice. Feel the whole body moving slightly forward and the whole body moving slightly back. One more. Nice. And we're going to rest. Feel the body resting. Now I'm going to do the next move standing, and if y'all want to stand up, you can. If you don't feel comfortable standing today, no problem. So I'm putting my feet in a V. And here we are resting. And in order to get the left foot, much farther out there, all you do is drain the left leg. We're going to drain it into the right leg, like you're pouring all the water from one glass into another. So you're going to feel yourself both shifting and sinking down as the right leg fills up. And then when the left leg, especially the knee, gets super empty, we're just going to extend the knee, and the heel is going to drop down wherever it wants to be. And rather than 9 on each side, we'll do 6 of this. And this one is called around the platter variation. It's going to look almost exactly like what we just did. Here we go. And the forward back move is exactly the same from the hip bones up here as it was in the chair. Only it's just traveling a little farther because there's a bigger space between your back foot and your front foot when you're standing up. Nice. Let's do one more. And we're going to rest. Nice. And here's what it looks like with your right foot out. We're going to drain the right leg first and then extend the empty right knee. And here we go. And here's the only difference between the last movement and this movement is right here, this little variation in the hands. Nice. One more. And we're going to rest. And let's do bass drum. We're going to start with the left foot out. Here we go. Same exact move from the hips down. The only difference is the hands. And in all the Tai Chi Chuan movements, there's always at least one body part drawing circles in the air. In the case of these first few moves, it's the hands. Let's do one more. Nice. And let's do the other side. Here we go. Be mindful of your weight shift. When you're thinking about your feet and the weight shifting from one foot to the other, you know that energy follows thought. Did you know that? And so you're draining the energy as far out of your head as you can physiologically do. You're getting your head out of your head. Let's do one more. Feel your feet touching the ground. Again, we're just letting our thoughts and mind and head be where our feet are right now, right? Let's do daughter on the mountaintop. We're going to start with the left leg out. Hands turn over. Okay. Just let your upper arms almost be heavy. Really, almost the entire arm gesture in this move, and a number of the Tai Chi Chuan moves, is done from the elbows down. Let's do one more. Nice. And for our online audience sake, I'll show them what it looks like from the front with the right foot out. Here we go. It's like I'm unzipping a jacket, right? Zip, or I should say unzip. Let's do one more. And let's do Jodder in the Valley. This move is almost like yin to the yang of the move before it. Hands start high to go low. And here they go. It's like I'm zipping the jacket back up again. Can you see that? Since you're looking right at me. Nice. Let's do one more. And this is what it looks like from the side with the right foot out. Feel your weight shifting 99% of the way back to your back foot, and then about 95% of the way forward to the front foot. But you know, the best way to do Tai Chi Chuan, because it's kind of the opposite of exercise. You get your best flow of energy when you use the effort of no effort at all, right? One more here. Here's another thing they've discovered about the way Tai Chi and Qigong practices make you healthier in the body is that they, of course, you've always known this part, they move the energy that's always in your body around more effectively and more copiously. But here's something they've only recently learned, is that there's a relationship between the way the energy moves around your body through the meridians and your fascia, which is like the sausage skin to every part of your body. Your whole body and each individual organ of your body, too, is wrapped in fascia, right? So the only way to promote energy and water movement through the fascia is to use the absolutely effortless effort, the effort of no effort, which it's exactly the opposite of the cardiovascular system. The only way to pump blood through your body is to work hard, right? But the body is so intelligent. There's so many yins and yans in the body, right? The fascia and the cardiovascular system, that's just one more example. We're going to go ahead and do the first side-to-side movement in this practice. Carry the ball to the side seated, just so y'all who have not done the side-to-side movements seated before, I can remind you how to do it. So here we are, we're just resting. Right? We're feeling the body at rest. We're going to let the entire upper body rotate from side to side except for your head. Okay? And I'm going to mirror to all of you since I'm facing all of you. So let the whole upper body, again, except your head, turn towards your right. And we're just going to put the hands up here like we're holding a ball, sort of in the hole that used to be occupied by your right shoulder before you turned. Okay? Now just relax everything in your arms from your fingertips to your elbows, and the hands will just naturally drop. And then as you turn, the turning is going to carry them across the bottom. That's it. Now the traditional way to do this move is in 3 sets of 3 turns. But in order to give you a really good muscle memory here, we're going to go ahead and do all 9 without any pauses. Now all we're doing here, in addition to turning from side to side, is we're gently contracting the elbows here, and we're gently lengthening them there. Nice. We're going to do one more here. This is 9. And we're just going to let the hands flow down to the legs. That's it. Now we're going to start from your left and flow back towards your right, but we're going to do the return path in the traditional way. So we're going to do 3 sets of 3 rotations. Okay, so here we go. Starting on your left, here's 1, 2, here's the 3rd one, and you're just going to take a moment to feel your body resting. And then we'll do it again. Same thing. 1, 2, 3. And if you were standing, here's what it would look like. Same principles of movement, only your feet are going to be wider apart, so your weight shift is going to be farther than it was when you're in the chair. Nice. Feel your body resting. And now we're going to go back to 2 more forward-backward moves. And we'll just do an abbreviated version of each one. Let's do push-pull with your left foot out. Here we go. Rather than 9, we'll do 6. Nice. One more. Usually looks like 100% from the side with the right foot out. One more. Nice. Pulling in the energy with the left foot out. One more. Nice. With the right foot out. One more. And we're going to rest. Nice. Awesome. Let's do pulling tapping. I'm going to turn towards our studio audience. Just kidding. And I'm going to do 2 sets standing and 1 set seated. So starting on my own right, I'm not mirroring. Nice. Same principles of movement as carry the ball to the side. Nice. Here's what it looks like seated. Very simple. Nice. Nice. Here, I'll do the last one standing. As I turn towards my right, the left shoulder pops out in front. So that's the hand on the bottom. The right arm just flows up on top. And then as I flow into the left leg, it's like I'm passing a tray of cookies to this side and this hand grounds me. And then I rest. And now reverse all that I just said. Nice. Just feel the body resting. And the next movement in the practice is pulling taffy variation number 1. Anchor taffy, and this is what it looks like from the front. First we move forward and come right back. Then we pull taffy to the side. Nice. Forward and back. To the side. And if I were seated, this is what it would look like. Easy. And this is what it looks like for our friends in the room here. Nice. And feel your body at rest here. Nice. Let's do wrist circles taffy here. We'll do it all together. Here we go. this move. I feel very buoyant when I'm doing this move, almost like I'm bobbing up and down in the water, being moved about by the currents. Nice. Nice. And in the interest of time, we'll just conclude here. Feel your body resting. Variation number 3, perpetual motion taffy. It's just like regular taffy, only it's perpetual. I'm just going to go do 6 sets of them today rather than 9. The only trick to it is letting the end of one weight shift be the beginning of the next. And then just let the top hand slide under while the bottom hand slides up and over. They're not hard tricks though. Let's do one more. Nice. Let's do working the pulley. I'll do the first side seated because I really believe that if you know how to do it seated, you can do a better job when you're standing. So let's just all come to the front of the chair because the back of the chair may get in the way of your arms if you're scooched too far back on your chair. So here we go. Go ahead and take your left foot and just move it slightly out. It helps you remember which arm goes where. So the left elbow is going to bend and the right lower forearm is just going to rotate over. Good. And we're just going to let the whole upper body rotate from side to side except for the head. Okay, let it move the arms around for you. So here we go. Can you feel how the turning of your body is sending one hand forward and one elbow back? Can you see that and feel it? We'd normally do 9 of these, or we're just going to do 6 on each side. I think this is 6. We'll call it 6. And when we get back to the middle, whichever hand is lower is going to catch up with the upper hand, right? All right, now I'm going to do it standing for you. Let me move this chair out of the way. So it's going to feel exactly like a forward-backward move, but it's going to feel a lot like a side-to-side move too. The upper body is going to flow both forward, back, and it's going to turn all at the same time. Oops, sorry. With the right foot out. Here we go. And our online audience is going to see that that's happening because you can see how the logo on my shirt is turning towards you right now, but now it's turning away from you. One more. Nice. Let's do light at the top of the head, light at the temple. I'll do the first half of it seated. Y'all just copy me. Here we go. By the way, if you've had a mastectomy, you've probably also had lymph nodes removed and you can't raise your arms up this high. So just drop your hands down to whatever feels good to you. But technically, if you can, your hands belong right over the very crown of your head. So here we go. We're just shifting slightly backwards and slightly forwards. If you're even barely body conscious, you're going to notice your body is expanding here and contracting here. Good. Now we're going to pull our own energy up and out of the top of the head and kind of mix it up with the cosmic soup. And now hold. And here we go. Kind of fold the energy up in on yourself. And let your body rest. Nice. And here's what the second half looks like standing up. Here we go. Again, we're just shifting backwards slightly, shifting forwards, and you're going to feel a contraction and an expansion. Good. Now mix forward. It's like you're messing up your hair. And my thumbs are actually getting tangled up in my curls here. And now we're going to hold. Good. And now we're going to contract and expand. Move backwards and forwards. One more time. Fold the energy in on yourself. Feel the body resting. That's great. And let's do joyous breath. So here we go. Left foot moves slightly out to the side. Good. One more. Good. Feel your body totally returning to rest. Nice. And now we're going to do passing clouds. This is one of the only Tai Chi Chuan moves that can be found in every single Tai Chi practice on the planet, and most of the Qigong practices too. And most of them have very similar names too. We call it passing clouds. Starting with a weight shift to your left. Good. Same principles of movement from the hips down as all the side to side moves. And normally the suggestion is we do 9 sets of these, but I'm just going to do 6. Let's do one more set. Nice. And now we're going to do 6 healing sounds. Don't worry if you don't know the sounds, I'll do them for everybody. Okay. Starting with the left hand, left foot first. Both hands. Sweep left. Right hand, right foot. Both hands. Sweep right. The first sound is ho. Second is hu. Third is su. Fourth is sh. Fifth is shi. Sixth is chui. So let's put it all together. Now we're going to sweep back and forth. with a tree. Tree, tree. One more. Tree. Feel your body at rest. Nice. And we're going to end with Cosmic Consciousness pose. It's not quite a movement, it's a pose. All right, so here we are resting. You just lift the left heel and lay it down quite lightly on your right ankle. It's like you're kissing your right ankle. Then take a moment to notice, do you still have the 50-50 weight split in your legs? You should. It's just that your left heel is no longer on the ground. Otherwise, there's still 50% in each leg. Arms rise up till your forearms are about the height of your shoulders. Your fingertips, just your fingertips overlap, and the left hand is the one that's closer to your body than the right. And let your body flow back to rest. That's it. And let's all take a seat one more time. Let's do a few more moments of mindfulness here. Again, we're looking for that totally effortless sensation in the upper body. If you can't quite grok what that means, check in with both your feet and your hands, actually. Can you see and feel how none of your four extremities are working to be sitting on top of the floor or your legs? It's just the truth. We're simply experiencing the sensations of sleep in this position. And by the way, did you know you burn more fat when you're asleep than during any other activity throughout your day? How's that for irony, right? You're also moving more energy and fluids through the fascia right now than you normally would be doing. And that energy is also coming to rest in the marrow of your bones right now, by the way. A lot of Tai Chi Chuan practitioners over the course of time experience stronger bone density. Cool. And let your mind simply settle down on a particular area or sensation in your body, preferably one somewhere in the very middle of you. And let's go ahead and call the bell. Just see if you can let your attention hang out on this spot that you have chosen to pay attention to. And if your mind wanders, by the way, there's nothing in the world wrong with you or with that. That is simply what the human mind was built to do. It loves to wander. Okay, try not to should yourself to death. And here we go. attention back to the room. And if your eyes were closed, now would be a good time to open them. How was that? Good? Yeah, it was good. It was very good. I feel very chill. So I have a couple of, I've been working with veterans for many, many years. It's kind of where it's one of the areas. I also adore working with cancer patients, but working with veterans is one of the areas in which my talents and my passions collide most closely. And I have a number of students, as you might imagine, that are so physically beat up that they can't even do it in a chair many days. One of my students, for the first 6 months that I knew her, basically lay on her bed and imagined that she was doing the movements. And then at some point, she just stood up one day and she knew them all. Like, to her brain, it didn't actually know she hadn't been doing the movements. And she learned the practice. And one thing she always says is, Tai Chi Chuan is medicinally relaxing. Even if you're just doing it in your mind, right? Is there a pill on the market, especially for someone who's going through a cancer treatment, that will do that for you? No. The other thing that occurred to me during the Boston conference is there are no side effects to doing Tai Chi Chuan except feeling better. You can't say that about any of the pills in the cancer treatment protocols, right? Right. So anyway, again, I'm Jessica Lewis, and the name of my company is Sculpt Your Life, and the name of the practice that we did today is Tai Chi Chuan. That third little word is spelled C-H-I-H, and it's pronounced cha, like chuck wagon, and it means knowledge of. If you put that together with the words Tai Chi, what you got is knowledge of the supreme ultimate. That's what Tai Chi means, supreme ultimate. So you can tell right off the bat that actually Tai Chi Chuan is not a martial practice. It's the only Tai Chi practice actually that is not martial. Yet it has been qualified by some of the medical authorities that we trust most as nothing other than a moving mindfulness practice. So with Tai Chi Chuan, you get the benefits of Tai Chi, you get the benefits of mindfulness, and you even get some of the benefits of a good night's sleep thrown in for good measure. Bonus! And it's absolutely perfect for anybody who's dealing with cancer. So thanks so much for coming again today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll be back on the live stream in 2 weeks. And if you have a cancer diagnosis or if you're a caregiver for someone who is dealing with cancer, you're in the neighborhood, because I'm here at Newcastle County facility. The cancer support community is all over the state, but I'm here at the Newcastle County facility. You're eligible to be here for free. You just need to reach out to Erica Narducci, who is the program director. She's my supervisor here, and she will help you be here live with all these lovely people too. And I bid you all adieu for 1 week, those of you who are in the room, and 2 weeks for you online.